You're listening to the Pops on Hops podcast, where we listen to some pops, drink a little hops, and I get to hang out with my pop. I'm Abigail Hummel.
And I'm Barry Hummel, and we want to welcome you again to an ongoing series of food-related and Pops on Hops themed food products that we've collected over the years. And we've been sampling them for a little mini bonus episode. And today we're going to be drinking something called Belgian beer chocolates. And they're
drinking and eating.
Technically, since they're beer-filled. They're made by chocObeer. And I ordered them online through a company, I think it was in Vermont. And there are basically 6 flavored chocolates. They really do have brands of beer in them, because I'm recognizing Palm from something that you can pick up locally in most of your stores, a really popular Belgian beer here in the United States. So there are 6 individual ones, and we're going to run through each one. We do have a frame of reference for these because we have rated chocolate on the podcast previously. And so I'm thinking these are going to be better than the ones we had before. But that's I'm just gauging that. Just guessing.
Well, they're fresher, to say the least.
And I don't know anything about these beers that have a selection in the order. So what color would you like to do first?
Pink.
Pink. Here's your pink one.
Thank you.
And here's my pink one. And it won't come out, of course, because we're on camera. So this is called Rose Max is the beer that I think is in this one.
I think it's Rosé Max.
Rosé Max?
Yeah.
That may be.
And it has little raspberries on the wrapper.
All right. Hence the pink.
So maybe a framboise of some kind.
And the chocolate looks dark on this. Right?
It does, yeah. The box had no information. No inserts, nothing. So we're flying blind on this one.
Cheers. Your bottle's upside down.
Bottoms up.
Guess you have to eat it whole. But
I don't like that at all.
oh, I was going to say I liked it.
Are you sure this is beer?
That's what it said.
Okay.
I don't know. I liked it.
I need to spit it out.
All right. Bring back some paper towels also. While you do that, I'll make my selection. I'm going to choose Palm because I'm familiar with Palm. And I'm going to do that so that I can tell if it's really the beer, because I know the beer.
I found that to be very unpleasant.
Well, there's only 5 more to go.
The reason why I asked if it was beer is because it tastes like those boozy chocolate cordials that you can get. And Belgian beers are strong, but I don't know.
Well, I was going to say that there are some Belgian beers, those fruity things that, some of them are pretty intense. That one was pretty intense.
Nice.
I liked it. I'm going on record as saying that. Now, are you going to rate that? I think spitting it out tells you the answer, right?
1.25.
Okay. I'm going to give it a 3.5 because I would do it again. I would have it again, but I would eat it differently, as you're going to see on this one.
The shock of it exploding.
Exploding. Wow.
Just a disarming sensation all around. Okay.
All right.
So Palm, this is a type of beer that you're familiar with.
Oh,
okay.
absolutely.
All right.
I had a friend who really liked this, so I had quite a bit of it when I went to his house.
Is it somewhat mellow?
It's more of what you would think of as a Belgian, not a double or a triple, not that. It's like just
the strong golden ale.
The most mellow Belgian ale that you could get.
All right. Well,
here we go. And I am bottoms up in because I'm putting the whole thing in. I'm going all in. Maybe you should put a spitball on the table. There'll be a lot of inserts in this episode as Abigail continues to go to the sink to wipe her mouth out. I liked it. I liked it better than the first one. I find it interesting. I think that one tastes, from what I'm recalling, like Palm beer. It really did. I think it's the real deal. I think it's palm beer and a chocolate. I don't know how the heck you do that.
So I'm having multiple issues with these. The first one is the texture of the chocolate is terrible.
Well, it's
grainy.
crunchy, right? It's real solid, and I wonder if it has to be that to contain the beer. Like
it has crystallized.
Like a sugar coat to hold the beer, right?
And
show that. You have a piece there. Put it up. Show the sugar coating inside of it. Here. Because
so I'm not enjoying that.
There it is. You can see it there.
And then the beer itself has absorbed so much of the chocolatey flavor and the sugar, from sitting in that shell that it tastes like a shot of booze. It's really unpleasant.
Listen. This one you might like because it's Creek Max. I guess the Max means that it's going to be
maximum alcohol.
Yeah, and I see cherries on this one, so it looks like something for Pops.
I'm so afraid.
Why didn't you bring over a spittoon while you were in the kitchen?
I will not be spitting on camera.
But you leave me here to fend for myself. Cheers. Cheers-ish. I guess it's not really.
I'm so afraid.
Although I find that one to be, of the three, the strongest, the booziest flavor to me. But the flavor's great.
Now I'm getting it as I'm starting to swallow. It's tough, man. I think I can get this one down.
I hope so. Because I can't really ad-lib without you on the frame. But I'm going to say I like that one. Of the three, that was my favorite.
Okay, of the three, it was the only one I could swallow.
By default, that makes it your favorite.
By default, that makes it my favorite. My nose is running from how unpleasant I'm finding this. That one was tolerable, though. I did really only start to get the booziness once I started to swallow.
All right, the next one is called Bruges Zot. Bruges Zot.
It has kind of a jestery figure on the label, which is fun.
The whole thing is a bad joke. And
yes,
by the way,
yes, it is.
Just to warn everybody, I picked these up because I was afraid the other chocolates that we were going to sample, which we've done previously, were going to be sold that they were going to be intolerable. They happen to be okay. So this extra bonus episode is my fault. And
you're just trying to torture me.
Well, it makes for good content. Cheers.
Do you know anything about
Bruges Zot? I don't.
Yeah.
I do not know. And because I didn't open this container till we did this, I didn't do a lot of homework on the beer. Show notes.
Cheers.
That's a pretty mellow one. As far as the beer, that one had the cleanest flavor, I think. It was sweet. But again, I agree with you. I think the sugar crystal that's containing the beer is what's really making it sweet. What can I tell you? What's your thought?
I think I would have liked that one.
In another lifetime?
If not for the sugar crystal thing.
Yeah. Well, that's, I guess, a technique that has
I think they're just making these wrong. Because
I don't know how you get beer and how would you...
That one was actually quite nice.
That was tasty.
It was a nice combo of the beer and the chocolate. But it is so sickeningly sweet. It's like drinking cane syrup. It's horrible.
It really is super sweet.
It's horrible.
It's sort of like, not rock candy. That's too strong of a word, right? But it's that kind of crystalline, super sweet. And it's just on the inside, but that's in contact with the beer the whole time it sits in the box.
Yeah.
Right? So that makes the beer super sweet. And so you could taste the flavor of the beer, but it's in the context of, be like if you had beer and you poured simple syrup into it, right?
Exactly. And when brewers are making beer, they're thinking about the levels of sugar. Like that's one of the main components and things they're testing for chemically when you're making beer. So this is just completely throwing all of that out the window.
Right. Well, it's
different. It's different from drinking a beer and eating a bit of chocolate as a pairing.
Right.
This is changing the taste of the beer by adding more sugar to it.
Well, in the pretzel episode, we made the joke that I said, oh, let's now do it simultaneously. Oh, you can't do that because you can't pour beer and chew a pretzel simultaneously. But this is what this is. This is a simultaneous, you get all of it all at the same time.
It's a fruit gusher, but with beer and chocolate.
It's a brew gusher.
A brew gusher.
So this one now, the next one is called Rodenbach Grand Cru. I have seen this in the store, but I don't know that I've ever had this one, the beer itself.
I thought Rodenbach was a style of beer.
No, I think Rodenbach's a brewery. A Belgian brewery. Grand Cru is definitely a style of beer.
Is it the champagne of beers?
No, that would be Miller High Life.
Famously. Cheers.
Cheers. I see a spit coming on. She's out. Well, that was similar to the first one, right? And I'm telling you, we should have had a spit bowl on the table. It would have been way more fun.
I didn't even chew that one.
I don't dislike them. Do I love them enough to go, oh, I need to order these and keep having them in the house? Absolutely not.
I didn't even chew that one. I took a bite, experienced the burst, and decided it wasn't for me.
Yeah, it was very similar to the first one, which was probably my least favorite so far.
So boozy, that one.
All right. The final one is Carnet.
Thank God.
I think one I have also seen the beer, but I, again, don't recall whether I had it. But I'll dig that up for the show notes and see if I have any ratings on any of these beers that were part of this.
This, at the very least, has a little bit of info about the beer. It says strong blonde Belgian, and it also says oaked.
Uh-oh. And candied. Oaked and candied.
Oaked and candied.
That's a double whammy. Cheers. All right, here we go. That's a more mellow beer, so I think it's a more mellow bite. That's probably my third favorite. I like the cherry one, and I liked the Brugesat. They were the two I liked the most. And Creek Max, for those of you keeping score at home, which is nobody, I'm sure. Thoughts?
Can I have some water?
You may have some water. See, I was the only one smart enough to bring water to the table.
I concur completely with your thoughts. This one, I was able to swallow.
Yeah. That was three of them that you basically liked enough to finish them, and three of them that were too strong.
And they were the same ones, the Brugesat, the Creek Max, and the Cornet.
But I think your point about the sugar crust inside is valid. I think that really kind of ruins the experiment. I'm not really having beer paired with chocolate when I have a sugar wedge in the middle of it. And I think if I had like a cordial cherry where it's just the cherry and the syrup in the chocolate, I would have enjoyed it more. Now, I don't know that you can do that with beer. I don't know the technique, so.
I feel like there has to be a better way.
All right, well, we'll research that.
chocObeer, please improve your process.
Oh, no, I blew it. I picked the wrong clip.
Vertically challenged.
Although today with the chocolates, you were vertically
This is
challenged.
what we do, so. That's not even...
I'm just screwing it up now. It's for fun. Think about it on tap. Look at us. Look at the content. Look at the love. Look at everything we have here. And by the way, you're bad-mouthing chocObeer.
chocObeer, yeah.
Because...
This is Pops on Hops, where no one is safe.
Nailed it.
I don't think you can say that when you nailed it on your third try.
Hey, I didn't strike out. I didn't hit the fourth one incorrectly.
So that blessedly concludes this episode of sampling chocObeer. If you need more of our content, in the meantime, you can find us on all social media platforms. We are Pops on Hops Pod across all of our branding. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Email address is popsonhopspod@gmail.com. Website is popsonhopspod.com. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.